Have you ever had a dream that you were so excited about, but when you tried to live it out, the reality just didn't quite match up? This was me with homeschooling. I want to start sharing a lot more of my personal story and my vulnerabilities and just share with where I'm at right now and who I am as a person. So I always had a dream to homeschool my kids one day. I remember when my now 13-year-old was about 4 and I had the living room all decked out like a preschool. I had the alphabet on the wall and a calendar, and I was really excited to start homeschooling, although I was really overwhelmed as well because I also had a 1-year-old at the time and I felt like I could barely keep up with the house, but I always wanted to homeschool, so I just felt like I was going to make it work. It just so happened that I found a co-op across the street that we could walk to. And I thought this was a really great balance as I felt overwhelmed. I could put him in these half days of school, and it was a co-op, so it was a preschool, but parents were very involved and were the assistant teacher a couple days a month. I thought maybe this could be something that we do for that year, and then I could jump into homeschooling later. And I just kind of found myself every year going back and saying, maybe next year we'll homeschool. Maybe next year we'll homeschool. And I just found myself doing this every year until about 2 years ago. My son would have been going into 6th grade and our second son would be going into 3rd grade. Now at this point we had 4 boys. We still have 4 boys. So we had our oldest son going into 6th grade. We have our second son, he was going to be in 3rd grade at the time. And then our third was in preschool. We decided to put him in preschool so we could focus on our older 2 boys. And then we had a newborn at home. Now, I knew we weren't ready to homeschool, but every year when we keep saying, oh, next year maybe we'll try, oh, maybe next year, I finally started to realize we just keep doing that, maybe next year. We were never going to get to it. So I thought, you know what? We're just going to dive in. We're not going to be ready, but we'll figure things out along the way. I had kind of watched some YouTube videos and learned from other parents that this is very normal to get into homeschooling and you just don't have any idea what you're doing when you start. But I quickly found that my kids hated it. It was very overwhelming. No matter what curriculum we tried, it just did not seem to be going very well. But my idea of homeschooling was to be able to take them out on field trips and go and explore the world and travel and do fun things. But I have a job. I have to be at my computer and I'm on somebody else's schedule. And the ideas that I had for homeschooling were just not going well because I have to work. I started thinking, surely there's a way that we can start our own business. We can work from home on our own schedule and do our own thing. I don't have to rely on somebody else sending me a paycheck. My husband and I started learning about what it takes to start your own business and the different opportunities out there. We dove right in, but I found myself really overwhelmed again. Now I am not only tied to my desk and trying to figure out how to homeschool, but we're also trying to start a whole business. I kept telling myself, homeschooling can't be that hard. We can do like an online curriculum or get them set up with tutors, which we did. We put them on online tutors to kind of allow us to be able to focus on what we were doing with the business. But I just really wasn't feeling good about this. Even with the tutors and the online curriculum and everything that we were trying, I was constantly getting interrupted when I was trying to focus on trying to figure out the business. I tried to not feel guilty, allowing myself to really focus on the business while they worked with the tutors, and just I tried to make all of this work, but the constant interruptions and not really having time to focus was just making things so much harder and so much longer. I just finally realized that we can't do all of it all at once. We brought up the idea of sending our kids back to school, and honestly, they were really excited about it. They were really excited to see their friends again. When I finally decided that this is just what we're gonna do, I started to feel relieved that I wasn't going to have to worry about what they were learning or what they were doing all day. And I just started to feel really good about the whole situation. I don't love the idea of my kids being in school. I still have a dream of my kids having education tailored to their needs and their desires and who they were created to be. But for now, everybody's happy. They're going to school. We're able to focus on what we are doing. I'm creating a schedule and a system for my videos so that I can create the program that I'm working on and build a community and focus on the people that I'm serving so I can build the foundations of my business and get out of my job so that I can create the freedom for my family. My biggest reason for sharing this is so that if you feel like you're overwhelmed with everything, just know that it's okay if you need to step away from one thing to build another dream, put something on hold so that you can build somewhere else. You don't have to do everything all at once. If you start small and you build consistency, eventually you will have it all. Start with one thing at a time and you will work towards creating that life that you dreamed of. If you've ever felt torn between multiple dreams at once, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story too. And if you're working on your own YouTube channel or you're thinking about it, click the link below and come join my community and we'll build this together.